Sussex began the penultimate day of our LV County Championship game of the week well as they look to push on towards their third win from 3 in this season's competition. Durham won their only game and were up against it in the first hour as they just tried to rein the visitors in. Matt Machin, who started this season in explosive form, had other ideas however. The Scotland international is at the top of his game right now and his wicket was going to be a key one. He nearly sent his partner Harry Finch packing though as he raced through for the single he needed to bring up his latest 50. While a rather surprised Finch had to dust himself down, Machin raised his bat again on reaching his mark off 89 balls, an innings containing 7 fours. Sussex's lead was now into the 150s. So it was all going along rather nicely for the visitors in spite of plenty of playing and missing until on 22 Finch just couldn't stop himself from going fishing to give Usman Arshad a very important breakthrough in his first over of the morning. It was now that Durham looked as if they may be left behind. Luke Wright joined Machin and with the ball now 50 overs old, it was the moment for the early table toppers to take over. Batting had been by no means easy in the first hour of the morning and Sussex would have been looking at a lead in excess of 300 to give themselves a real chance of making it a hat-trick of victories from the start of the 4-day summer. Durham needed to take every half chance they were offered, but Keaton Jennings missed a very tough one at short leg to give Machin a life. The stocky left-hander looked as if he was heading towards the second century in 2 games this summer. He moved on to 80 and the lead was now into the 200s and building. Crucially, Durham then struck twice before lunch. Machin got a ball which kept very low from Arshad and was on his way to end a 5th wicket partnership of 57, the runs coming in just 10 overs. Then Paul Collingwood tossed the ball to Chris Rushworth and with the 5th delivery of his new spell, he grabbed his 3rd wicket of the innings as Ben Brown was held by Scott Borthwick. So now the visitors went to lunch on 235 for 6, 231 runs ahead. Ajmal Shahzad joined Wright and added 20 more to that lead before Sussex lost their last 4 wickets for 10 runs in 3 overs. Rushworth closed in on his second 5-wicket haul of the summer in 2 games overall by getting rid of Shahzad for 17. Before, in his next over, it was a fifer for the 11th time in the 28-year-old's career as he then knocked back Wright's middle stump to see the all-rounder on his way for 39. The tail didn't wag as it had done in this match thus far. John Hastings finally had something go his way after endlessly beating the bat. Steve McGoffin with the nick. And the last wicket stand, which broke records in the first innings, lasted only 1 ball in the second, as Matthew Hobden lost his middle pole and was on his way with Sussex all out for 265. Rushworth again starring with the figures of 5 for 81 from 23 overs. That left Durham a target of 262 to keep alive their own 100% win record at the start of this campaign, and Mark Stoneman and Jennings got them off to a flyer. So often at this ground over the last few years, there have been deliveries simply with batsmen's names on them. And so this pair, used to what to expect here of course, decided to make the most of every scoring opportunity they were given. Stoneman in particular was in the mood to get on with things as he found one boundary after another, Ollie Robinson not having things his own way this time around. The 50 was up in the 12th over and the runs required were fewer than 200 when Stoneman lifted Shahzad for a massive 6 to quickly take this opening partnership to 80. The way it was going, the game could be finished off with a day to spare. But then Shahzad exacted his revenge by trapping Stoneman in front soon into the final session of the day. The confident left-hander was on his way for a near enough runnable 41. Shahzad, who's made such a good start with bat and ball to his Sussex career, then had Jennings nicking off on 38, and once again we had a game on in what has been a superb contest between 2 very well matched teams. Yeah, the game was back in the balance once more, but bad light and rain soon ended the day early, which leaves an intriguing final day, which will begin with Durham on 115 for 2, needing a further 147 runs to win. They are perhaps now the slight favourites, but ignore Sussex at your peril.